Dreamer 278333. In this dream, a feeling of profound isolation, hiking the foothills near the edge of an abandoned town. I ascend over scrub ground, avoiding broken bits of barbed wire fence, skirting the overgrown half-hidden holes of abandoned mine shafts. But I don't slow down. I need to get away.
A lifeless landscape, the bare bones of a once organic form.
Behind me, the ruins of houses. In front of me, a storm cloud, becoming more and more visible the higher I go, until this cloud, it fills the entire horizon, looming over me as I climb over a ridge to the top of a plateau.
In the distance, ghostly mountains higher still. Within their folds, that iridescent green of human cataclysm, with no hint of the sublime. Nuclear fallout lingering from the last terrible war.
Yes, and far down below to one side, an abandoned highway. I can just make out the wrecks of ancient vehicles sticking up out of the grass. Next to the road, a fallow field that has not been planted in centuries. A broken horse carriage, a wagon wheel, even more antique than the cars that yet likely used more recently.
A dry riverbed filled with plastic and debris, winding toward the horizon, garishly colorful and horrifying and bleak.
The storm cloud is ominous. It won't let go of the hills.
It seems to grow larger as it shifts in tone from gray to purple rimmed with indigo.
I have to go back before it's too late. But the path behind me is now blocked by a steep slope that wasn't there before.
All tumbled rock and sheer walls.
Is there really no way out? I turn around to face the growing storm.
What are you supposed to make of this? So much longing for human contact and something vital that may never ever be again. Why do they have such dreams, such a need to escape?
I don't know.
These sleepers never saw the old wars, never lived through them. A collective tragedy so traumatic they can't help remembering it, even if they didn't experience it themselves. How does it end up haunting them like this?
That is the mystery. But then it is also their legacy.
Can't you give them some kind of relief?
Sometimes the dreams sort themselves out and they find peace.
And if they don't, you could just wake them up.
Oh, you mean this one? Set him free?
No, I mean all of them.
Oh, you can't be serious.
What if I am?
Then you are far more dangerous than I ever could have imagined.
I just don't like to see them suffering, tortured by endless nightmares in an endless sleep. What good will they be as leaders, as a vanguard after that?
It's true, they've been asleep longer than originally planned, but...
What if the intention is just to leave them sleeping forever?
No, that can't be true.
But what if I were to tell you that there was never a plan for a better civilization? This was always just a way to sideline anyone with imagination. That the unseen felt safer that way, pretending to prepare a brighter future, to give us hope so we could be controlled. Not just the dreamers, but all of us left sleepwalking with no possibility of ever realizing anything.
I don't believe they would be so cruel to waste so much energy and youth. No, that just can't be.
Think about it. We can't just throw away the entire past because the better ideals were not realized. And we can't live in an idealized and totally unrealizable future.
Maybe that's true, but...
We have to work to make things better, step by step, in the present. It won't be easy, but there can still be joy, life, light, and you can make it happen if you set all the dreamers free and give them a chance for some say over their own futures, rather than being controlled as they have been all along.
But I'm not even sure it's possible. I would have to override all the backup systems. They would see what I'm doing.
Not if I help you. Most of the monitoring systems for their physical well-being have been cut back to save money to put into defense. In the long run, there will not be much left to sustain them anyway.
But how could you know that? Or how to work around the systems that are in place? Who are you really?
Does it really matter?
Yes. Isn't that what you asked me when we first met? And now I'm asking you, why have you come here to cause me to doubt everything I'm doing? Just answer the question.
All right. I am the youngest and last remaining granddaughter of one of the generals of the old ways. His pleas for compassion and peace were ignored, and so he was demoted and shamed.
Oh, so you are a spy. For the unseen? Did they send you here to sabotage my work, to recoup your family name?
No, they didn't. They did offer my family redemption if I were to become one of the dreamers too. But when my grandfather researched what was really behind it and refused, they killed him before he could do anything except to tell my parents.
And now?
And now I've come to tell you.
But why me? Why here? You could have gone to any of the other dreamer pods in any other city. Unless, yes, you must have thought I would be an easy mark.
No, not at all. It was because, David, you are the only one left.
I don't know what you mean.
All the other pods have been shut down. The dreamers abandoned to drift away and die in their sleep. You are the last dreamkeeper.
No, no, you're only trying to confuse me so you can manipulate me even more, pretending you care, pretending you're an orphan when you're not.
No, my parents were hunted down and executed too. I was hidden and raised by some family friends. Deep down, you already knew what I'm saying to you is true.
That I'm the last one left. That the dreamers in my charge are the last chance too.
Yes, it's why you've been feeling the burden more and more, and why you have to awaken them now. It's what their dreams are telling you to do, not just for them, but for yourself.
But even if it were possible to set them all free, what guarantee is there that they would be able to seek out the light?
They would, if they knew it was possible.
As long as they sleep, there is the hope of something better.
As long as they're imprisoned in sleep, there's no real future. Something has to be done.
We can't control their dreams any better when they're awake.
No, but we can open their eyes to see that empathy and respect for difference is not a form of weakness, that it is the only way for the survival of everyone. What we dream needs to come from our better selves, not a perfect self. There's no such thing. Dreams must be allowed to grow naturally toward the light.
No. You are the one who's lost in dreams. You want to replace one utopian idea with another, as if people will be good if we just let them be.
No, I only want them to have a chance to find the right path and to follow it.
But the path always splinters or turns back on itself. Dreams transform into the opposite of what we wanted or hoped. There could still be terrible divisions, conflicts, wars.
Yes, and that's just it. The unseen want us to believe that they will wake the dreamers up when they know how to do things better. But the remaining dreamers will only be held in reserve, to be used as an army if needed. The women kept in limbo to be exploited for egg harvesting or euthanized to cut costs.
No, that would never happen.
I think you know it is very likely if we keep the brightest minds outside the equation.
Intelligence is not necessarily the answer.
But aligning it with radical kindness, it just might work. And we have to try. What other choice do we have?
No, I could just turn you in right now or kill you, as no doubt you will me, yes? If I don't do what you want, to protect your grand vision of a new civilization?
Wouldn't I have just done that before, the first night we met?
I wish I could believe you.
You'll have to look into your heart for the answer. You can do what you want with me. It won't matter. Someone else will only take my place. Someone else will put a stop to this madness.
Then I could just go away.
Like the man in the dream? Where would you go? Anyway, I don't think that's who you are.
I don't know who I am anymore.
Because it's hard to follow what's best for yourself and others at the same time. But you have done it before. Do you remember that one young man who did come to kill you? Where do you think he is at this moment?
Probably lost at the wasteland at the edge of some city.
No. He's one of us. He's one of the leaders. You saved him, and he sent me to save you. Please, We must do this together. He trusted you, and now you must trust me.
Yes, I finally found it. Just maybe the heart of the story. I can't wait for Amy to read this tomorrow.
The next day, our intrepid and recently more dapper Henry is back in his observation room, listening to the conversations in the elevator.
Let's see what fascinating interlocutors meet in the marketplace of ideas this morning.
So I said to him, you are not the person I thought you were when we first met. And what did he say? That who can be completely themselves all the time. He might have a point, except his profile picture showed him to be 25 years old and tall and a former semi-pro baseball player, but he's more like 45, short and kind of clumsy. Sounds more like my type. Can you introduce me? Sure, why not?
Let's leave that for now, shall we? And tune into Elevator 2. 2 channels to choose from, folks, and endless entertainment.
Maurice gets on the elevator with Mrs. C.
Come on, Maurice. I'm holding it for you.
You don't have to do that, Ellen. I'm very slow.
Oh, gosh.
Oh gosh, they seem pretty cozy.
I can't wait a few seconds, unless you don't want to ride the elevator with me.
Of course I do. Very kind, very kind.
Nice jacket.
I'll tell you a little secret. I got it at Walmart.
No. Really? You said you picked it up in Borneo when you were there as an international lawyer.
I wish. No, Walmart. Or was that Sears before they closed? I'm not sure anymore. You know, you remind me a bit of my third wife.
What happened to her?
Oh, she divorced me for her chiropractor. She always did have a bad back.
I see. I never quite know if you were joking or not. That is a very funny story. You will have to tell me the rest next time.
I'll be glad to, my dear. Over dinner, perhaps? Beautiful dreamer, queen of my song.
Romance seems to be in the spring air today. Come on, folks. You know it could snow again tomorrow. Uh-oh. Better watch out, Mrs. C. You're about to be caught.
List while I woo thee with soft melodies.
Amy comes out of the other elevator.
Grandma, who was that?
Who was who?
The man who was just singing to you in the elevator?
Oh, Mad Maurice. He keeps telling me he was married 4 or 5 times, but I know he was only married once for over 40 years, but his wife died.
Why doesn't he just tell you the truth then?
Probably because it's a hard thing for him to talk about, or he doesn't want to upset me. There's an old world form of politeness that you might not understand, my dear. And well, besides, maybe he just likes.
Grandma.
Well, what's not to like? Huh, Henry? But I have to go out. Maurice went to the bookmobile and I suddenly need a book. I'll make you some soup when I come back.
Can you believe it? My grandma having a boyfriend.
Well, that Maurice guy seems nice enough.
Okay, how did you know that his name was Maurice?
Oh, I must have just seen them together in the lobby once or twice.
Well, she can't know him for that long.
Well, I've only known you for what, a month?
And your point is?
Nothing, I guess. But
You should have told me. She could have gotten in trouble. You never know a person's true motives.
Amy, don't you think perhaps you're being just a tad bit overprotective?
I most certainly am not.
You worry about her as much as she worries about you.
I just don't like when people lie.
I wasn't lying.
I was talking about Maurice to my grandma, but that's That's good to know. Anyway, so it must be nice working in the pet shop, nice change of pace from here with all those little puppy dogs.
Oh, that. Yeah, nothing cute about cleaning up after them for hours.
I was gonna get a poodle once. Not the prettiest, but I thought it needed some love. The grandma said, how will you take care of it when you can't even take care of yourself?
Even though you take care of her and her cat.
She does like to control things. When I got my first apartment, she had the painter install cameras to spy on me. God, I was so angry.
Oh, I can see why. That's awful.
She said it was only because she was worried about me.
But see, proves my point.
Well, maybe. It's just she hasn't had a very happy life. She grew up in Siberia.
Really? My dad was always threatening to send me there.
We're lucky that he didn't. My grandma and her family were sent there by Uncle Joe. Nothing to eat, impossible to farm, and weather was just horrible.
Her uncle did that, really?
Well, that's what they called Joseph Stalin in those days. Yeah. I mean, I know I don't, just after everything she's been through, I don't have much to complain about, but sometimes I hate using this cane. Like the other day, I didn't want to use it. And I slipped at the grocery store. These kids, they just laughed their heads off, thought I was drunk or just clumsy. They didn't even bother to help me up.
That's disgusting. If I had been there.
Thanks. But I like to fight my own battles.
You are a bit like your grandma. She's a tough old bird.
Mm-hmm. And which one of us do you think is cuter?
Your grandma, of course.
Well, then maybe you should ask her out then.
Funny you should say that. She's already invited me to come over to her apartment at 1 a.m. But in her defense, she doesn't know that we're kind of dating. There is something she really needs me to do.
Well, I bet there is, Grandma. Anyway, who said that you and I are dating?
You did a couple of weeks ago. But as for your grandma, I could never compete with Maurice. What was that for?
Helping my grandma.
But it's getting to be a habit.
Why, do you mind? I mean, because if you don't like
Oh,
it.
no, it's just listen, there's something I think I should tell you.
You ready?
Ready.
Henry, honey buns. Less talk, more action.
Well, okay.
Got it.
What was that?
You stop.
Not that again. I'm sure this will look great online when your boss sees it. Sorry, Copper.
Hopper?
Oh, wow. Didn't you know? Your boyfriend is a detective, a gumshoe, a real Sammy Spade, spying on people in this building. Innocent, unsuspecting, gullible people like you.
Henry, how could you?
Yeah. How could you, honey buns?
Shut up. Amy, listen. I can explain.
No, I don't want to hear it. Wait, did my grandma hire you to spy on me? To pretend to be my friend?
No, of course not. This is not who I am. This is just my job.
Your job. Oh, okay, I see. I just thought, just maybe that you and we were starting to become something special, to become something real. And then you were just only deceiving me all along, drawing me in when you knew how Henry.
Sorry, look, I really need to make a call. Damn it, where did I put my phone?
Your phone?
You want to use mine?
Shut up, Bernie.
In the middle of telling you how much you've let me down, let us down, and you want to make a call?
Let's go, huh?
If I'm that boring, what? I can't believe that I was so stupid to think that for a moment, a guy who made stuff up could also pretend that he really cared for me, But to sink so low as to cozy up to my grandma just to get close to me? No, it's just best that I found out now before I just really don't touch me. Stay away from me. And Grandma too.
The old lady too. Hank, really?
Amy, wait! Uh, now look what you've done.
Nah, no, pal. It's what you've done. You thought you had us dead to rights, but now we got the goods on you. Get you fired for sure. I mean, slacking on the job. Think about it, before you go to your boss. We could talk more tomorrow. Come on, Bernie.
Amy. Great, now I find it. Oh, hell, what am I gonna do?